Awesome. We are on. Hey, fans of the Erie Art Museum, this is Roman again, coming at you with another video with some local artists and just catching up with them and seeing what they've been up to and how they're dealing with staying home during the whole COVID-19 quarantine. So we're going to jump right into it. Today, I am joined by a good friend of mine, Eerie Eric. Say hi, Eric.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Now, Eric's a good friend of mine, and he's one of my favorite artists around town. So we have a lot in common. So this might go lengthy. I don't know. So
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Right. So Eric, we're just gonna jump right into it, okay? For those of the people out there who may not know who you are or familiar with your work, who are you and what do you do as an artist?
My name is Eric Fargiorgio, Eerie Eric, because no one can pronounce Fargiorgio. I do a little bit of everything. I do everything from cartoons, caricatures. I do a lot of like pen and ink. I'm a tattoo artist. I do a lot of just here and there. I do a lot of thrift store art. I find old paintings and I refurbish them. For the most part, that's basically what I'm known for.
Awesome. Now, when did you decide this is what you wanted to do? Like you're, 'cause I know you do your refurb art. You know, you'll take paintings and you'll add really awesome stuff into it. You know, tell us a little bit about that. You know, if people haven't really, again, if they're not familiar with your work, jump into that a little bit.
Like the altered stuff?
Yeah.
I do. It started. I used to just buy old paintings at thrift stores and Salvation Armies just for the frames, because I was a college kid and frames are kind of pricey to frame your actual artwork. And then one day I just kind of picked it up and it had a nature painting. It looked like a Bob Ross painting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put a little blurry Bigfoot in there. And my wife heard me just laughing like an idiot. So she comes in, she's like, what are you laughing about? And I just showed her how dumb this is. And look at this, I put a Bigfoot in here. I got to get rid of this. And she's like, no, you got to keep this. Let's just hold this out. And I put it up on, I think I put it on Facebook, and there ended up being a bidding war for it. And that's where it started. And that's been about 8 years ago. So now I go to conventions. We go to a lot of East Coast conventions, me and my wife, Carrie, and we'll sell anywhere from UFOs just in spots they shouldn't be, or, you know, I do a lot of pulp culture stuff during comic book conventions, Bigfoot mostly the Bigfoot stuff. So yeah, that's how that started. So my basement looks like a thrift store. It's all these old paintings everywhere.
Right on.
Stuff that
Very
people
cool.
throw away.
So, you know, being home now as an artist, you know, how's that been affecting you and your work and what you've wanted to be doing?
I love it.
What you have been doing.
I think it works out good for artists because we're all kind of hermits and antisocial in their own little way. So it's not a real big jump, but I'm getting a lot of more stuff productively done. And I feel like if there's anything that goes on in my life, whether I do like oil paintings and stuff too, it's not just all Bigfoots, but if there's something going on in my life, whether it's in my sketchbook or in a canvas, I tend to you know, kind of release it a little bit more. Whereas if I'm, you know, nothing's going on, I'm in a good mood. I tend to do a lot more stuff. So I'm really doing a lot with this being locked in, quarantine kind of stuff. So I'm really going off of that, kind of feeding off it. I see a lot of local artists doing the same thing.
Good. That's cool. So from all of that, you know, what's been your motivation? What's been keeping you going through all of that?
Just kind of like releasing my thoughts and putting it down, like how messed up this is. I mean, this is like a plague, you know. So the fact that toilet paper is currency now, that's a pretty big thing. I'm really going off of that. You know, we're doing trades with art for, you know, Charmin and stuff at this point. So it's pretty. I'm doing a lot of work off of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This is a time like when you're 80 years old, I'm going to be able to talk to people about what we lived through, you know? So I'm kind of painting and doing stuff based off of that.
Right. Going back and looking at 2020 is like, it was all about toilet paper and tigers. I don't know.
Yeah, that was it. I actually did a print based off that. Those are two main things you can think of in this quarantine. Toilet paper and tigers.
That's so funny. So do you have anything currently you're working on you'd like to share with everyone?
I have that print I just mentioned. So this is the first thing I actually drew when I thought of. I think I put something up on Facebook on what would be the top 3 things you think of during this quarantine time, and most people said the Joey Exotic,
Hmm.
toilet paper, and masks. So I made these. I kind of mixed them all up into one. I don't know if you can even see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big hit. I started doing that, and then I did another one of the holidays that were quarantined, because the fact that there's photos on State Street on St. Patrick's Day where it's just nobody.
Hmm.
We'll never ever see that again in our lifetime. And then so I did one of these too. I did the quarantine holidays. Yeah. So I did that. And then I got back into oil paint and I did a couple smaller pieces too. This gave me a lot of time to actually, I feel like I could sit back, breathe, relax, slow down, because we're
Mhm.
always go, go, go. So I got to do oil paintings and stuff here and there, just bringing that stuff back too. I got a couple other stuff like that.
Very cool. Now, do you find that with this time on your hands, have you been going back with like older work and kind of like revisiting that and kind of maybe like pulling something that you may have been worked on previous years in the past to be like, you know what, I started something and I kind of want to bring that back a little bit.
No, I started doing stuff I'm not really like comfortable with. Like I did a lot more like acrylics, and I'm really doing a lot more watercolor, and gives me more time. I mean, we got nothing but time now. Everything's 12 o'clock the same as noon is the same as midnight in this house here. So I'm doing a lot of paintings and just kind of tweaking. I'm doing more stuff just to kind of like therapeutic. I did like just a lot of more social distancing, like I did mermaids and stuff like that. I normally don't. It's normally not my wheelhouse.
Mm.
So it's giving me time to do stuff brand new that I don't even know. I'm kind of throwing it out, throwing it against the wall, see if it works or not. Whereas before, I'd just stick to my same old because I didn't have that much time.
Cool. Do you have anything like, like, all right, so when this is all done and like, quarantine's lifted and everything like that, so do you feel as though you'll be able to just kind of like get right back into like a normal sense of your work, or is it going to be like maybe overwhelming just because it's just going to be all at once?
I think it's going to be overwhelming for sure. Um, just I don't because I can't imagine the summer being normal again. It's
Mm.
like ball games and just actual. It's going to be so much different than before. But I can imagine. Just think of what a cool art show we're going to have at the end of all this. Every artist like me sitting at home doing stuff they've almost never done before.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that, like a whole quarantine art show.
That's a really amazing idea,
I think
and
that'd be great.
I think you and a bunch of other people around town, definitely have the talent and the know-how to try and pull something like that off. So
Yeah, just like what we've been thinking this whole 2-3 months on paper, on canvas. I could do a lot of stuff in sketchbooks too,
mm,
where I bring sketchbooks everywhere I go. I constantly have them everywhere. I drive my wife nuts. There's sketchbooks all over the house, but I'm like always just jotting just stupid stuff down and just thoughts. And then like that's where that print came from. I have like really really funny versions of the first couple before that. But yeah, it's gonna be nuts. I could kind of excited about that to see what other people have been thinking. What's going on in their world.
yeah.
So
So where do you draw some of those ideas from? Like what kind of inspirations do you usually fall into? Like when you think of a print and you think of an idea for a painting, where does it usually stem from?
um, usually what's going on in my world, like what's happening in my head. Like going back to my sketchbooks, it's like a journal for me, like a diary kind of thing.
Mm,
Only instead of writing it, I usually put down stupid comics and sketches and stuff. Whatever's going on in my day, if I'm stressed or something's going on, like I had a surgery, I wrote down funny. I try to flip and find the funnier stuff. Like when I was in the hospital, I drew situations that were sucky at the moment. Like, but in retrospect, it's funny when you look at it on paper. That's what I usually get mine from. Like, this is horrible. I better draw. And then it looks funny down the road. I'll look back at this one day and this will be funny.
Definitely.
That's basically almost everything I do is that. Like, this is horrible, but it's gonna be funny later on.
This is gonna be, yeah, like this is gonna be. Trust me, we're gonna be laughing about this down the road. We're not
And
doing it right
I
now.
got my I had a hip replaced. I have arthritis, and I went in my hips replaced, and then I woke up and Donald Trump was president. So that made a pretty good comic. Like, is this morphine? No, this is real life. Yeah. So that was a good example. That's a perfect example of what to expect when this is all over with, you know? But even when it's over, like, I'm still going to be kind of paranoid about, still not going to trust people.
Right.
On their sanitation or, cross-contamination.
It's definitely given it like I mean, for maybe some other people, just an eye opener of how people actually are. So,
yeah.
Very fun. So Eric, where can people find your work if they're out there trolling on the internet and they came across this video? It's like, man, this guy sounds fun. Where can they find your art at?
I think lately I've been having a lot of success selling my artwork and whatnot. Like, I don't have a website or anything, but I do a lot on Instagram. I find it kind of easier for people to find what they're looking for specifically. Like right now I'm doing commission work everywhere from caricatures, which I call caricatures because it's not a portrait, but it's not real goofy character or cartoon, So I do everything from that to pet portraits to like the altered thrift store paintings. Usually do that on my Instagram. It's Eerie Eric 444. And then I do have a Facebook fan page. It's the Art of Eerie Eric on Facebook. And then my personal page. But those are the top 3 to find me if you're just trying to look,
Very cool. And then once we are able to kind of like venture back out into society a little bit,
if we are,
where do you have anything on displays? Like, is there anything up anywhere publicly that anybody can go check out?
Yeah, I'm pretty active with the arts and drafts. I actually did the logo for the arts and drafts with the girl with with a bunch of different hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that logo. So my stuff's always up on there every time there's a arts and drafts fest, which is at the Erie, if people aren't familiar with that. I have stuff at the Erie Art Museum at the gift shop. Got some stuff there. A lot of my stuff's at Art Lore too, which is over here on West Side. A lot of my stuff's over there too. So those are like the 3 main spots.
Excellent. Very cool. Well,
I also do NPA. I'm a member of that, so you can see my stuff there too. So it's it's a broad horizon of different, styles of art.
Now, do you find it beneficial to have your art in multiple places? As far as like, all right, you have your Instagram, you have Facebook, but you're part of a handful of other artist organizations. Do you find it helpful for you as an artist based on what you do and how you do it?
I think so. Like, I had stuff for the glass growers and a lot of people that, certain genres may not be familiar with other genres. Like for instance, a lot of people really don't know Instagram, so they don't know where to, whereas people that wouldn't normally find me on, like, say, arts and drafts, they would see me more at the art museum, for instance. So yeah, it's a wide variety of stuff. And then it all stems back to, or even tattooing. They didn't know I do oil paints, and I'll tattoo somebody, and then next thing I know, they want me to commission me to do something. So yeah, it's pretty neat that putting your hands on all, different, just wearing different hats and stuff. It's pretty neat to have.
You don't end up being, the place. Right. You're not ending up being like a one-trick pony. You can.
Yeah, I'm always afraid of that, and I never want to be that kind of artist. And to just bottleneck yourself into one style,
Very cool.
I never could do that, but.
Well, Eric, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk with me and with the art museum. And out there on Facebook, if you like this interview and you want to check out Eric's work, check out his Instagram page, his Facebook page. And when you can get into the art museum, we do have stuff of Eric's work available at the art museum with a bunch of other artists that are just as cool. So again, thanks Eric for hanging out, and hopefully we get to see you more throughout the in the future with your work, and good luck with everything.
Thanks, man. Thanks for getting me off my butt and getting me to dress up and actually shave today. I feel accomplished today.
Hey,
thanks a lot, man. This is cool.
Yeah, we do what we can, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm semi-dressed though.
All right. Well, again, thanks for hanging out with me, and everyone. This video will be posted on the Erie Art Museum's Facebook page, and look out for more local artists around the area, and us just talking and seeing what they're up to and how they're dealing with being home during the COVID-19 quarantine. So talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, man. Stay safe.
You too.